Hey friends, it's me, the Ebony Otaku, the absolutely most well-rounded of nerds. Today is a casual video. I am giving y'all an update on my channel while I do some sleeving of my Tyranid deck. So my workday just ended, and it has been a day. It's been a really good day. So some cool things. Y'all want to see behind the curtain real quick? Like, this is fun. So this is a notebook my husband got me. I didn't know what I wanted to do with it, but now it's my keep track of fun projects. So it has part of it. I'm gonna move my mouse so my computer doesn't keep popping on. Because work is done. When work is done, we're done. All right. They got me for the rest of the day. But I use it now to keep track of my projects. So I have in the front, it's all my painting projects and building. My policy is I can't buy a new thing to paint until I finish two projects. Two exit, one enters. And then I've got a mead making log for when I start a section of it. Because look, it's like little books all stuck together. So each little book is another project section. And I just dropped my pen. And then, so when I start making mead here in a few weeks, that's where I'll keep track of that. But what I'm in right now is my YouTube section. And I keep track of like when I'm making videos and when they're going to be published and all that kind of good stuff. Did I get darker? I did. Why am I darker? It's fine. It's stormy outside, so light's not my friend at the moment. I usually will turn on the overhead light, but I don't mind a stormy day. You know, scoot my chair up. I don't mind a stormy day, and it's a dreary, stormy day, and we're just gonna lean into it today. I should read a spooky story like this, but I can't think of one at the moment I want to read. So, anywho, but I thought I'd give y'all some updates on things while I do the most wonderfulest of tasks, and that is sleeve my Tyranid deck. So I did a video on the Tyranid decks in the previous month, and I'm actually really excited to use it. Oh, check this out that my husband got me. So there is a casual magic group that meets at one of our favorite hobby shops, and he was in a Blood Bowl tournament a week ago, and his little team of Blood Bowlies won. His little, what are they called? Snotlings? The Snotlings won. They won best of the most pitiful teams. I forget what they called it, but that's what he won. And he won a $50 gift card to the shop, which he used 25 of that to buy me a portable card case for outside of the house that holds 250 double sleeve cards. So I can take 2 decks, basically. So I'll probably use this to take a couple of decks to Adepticon. And look at that. It has the strap is in here, zipped up, so I can use it like a purse. It's the little things, right? So I'll bring a couple of decks to Adepticon with this, and I can fit my dice in there too. You got to have some spin downs. But my Tyranid deck is going to, unless it's being traveled, live in the turquoise boulder. I've had this for a long time. I just didn't know what was going to go in it, and it is the Tyranid deck. I do have matching dice. I bought these dice a while back. Or did I get them for a gift? I can't remember. But I didn't have a deck they matched. They matched the Tyranids. So, and we have all of our token creature cards and stuff in here. But I was trying to figure out what sleeves that I want to use for it. Because I have turquoise sleeves on my, what is it called? My Lord of the Rings deck. It just happened to come with them. It was in the boulder that I bought. I don't know if they left the sleeves in there on purpose or not, but thank you. So I decided to go with the orchid dragon sleeves, because I think the blue and the purple will look really nice together. And our decks in this household, we do double sleeve because there should be no fingerprints, no spillage. Except for my actual commander, I'm going to swap a teal and a purple sheath. That way the commander gets, you can tell which one without having to dig through the whole daggum deck. So I do keep my little counters. I like these. Some people don't keep them. I keep mine. I don't always like doing it on the phone. Like when I'm sitting down playing a game with the fam, I want to sit down and play a game with the fam. The rules card. All right. Have I already lost my commander? Sure have. It's in here somewhere. I didn't separate out the commander. What kind of crazed beast am I? All right, it's legendary. There's 2 commanders in every deck. You can pick which one you want to be your commander in the game you're playing. So when I see them, I just dropped the box of sleeves. Came in. So when I see them, I'll set them to the side so I can. Let me see if I can just go ahead and find these heifers. So the updates I wanted to talk about. Well, it's not him. So some cool things are happening in my world. And if you've been with me for enough time, you know that I finally decided on a goal for this channel. Because this is not how I make money. I have a whole day job that I love. And what I'd like to use the AdSense revenue for this channel, or if I start, like selling things like 3D prints or stuff like that, what I'd like to do is use that money to fund a Taekwondo school. So, with my Taekwondo mission that I'm a part of, we provide classes to the community, and we do them for free. That includes the uniforms and everything. And the reason we do that is if you know anything about, Taekwondo, especially in a city like this, it can get real expensive. Like when I moved here, one school that I looked at wanted $240 a month for 4 classes, 4 45-minute classes. And where I came from, my instructor, who is a Korean grandmaster, like he's as legit as it get, those exist. They're scattered about. They exist. They're in places. He charges not that, and we don't have class restrictions like you can only come to 1 or 2 classes. Like all of our classes are open to all ages. That way families can practice together. And when we do a school that's for the mission in different areas, it's outreach. It's for, not everybody has the financial means to pay $260 a month. And I practice Taekwondo for the love of it. It will never be how I pay my bills. I have owned a school in the past. I don't think I'd ever want to make that a way I make a living unless I was retired and I just needed to keep the lights on in a building. I don't think it would be how I want my primary income to happen because I think it would take the joy out of it. When I was younger, I actually got scouted for some fighting leagues, and I thought about it because when I was younger, she's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, she was pretty good. She was a killer back in the day. Back in the day, I don't know what I did with my commander. I'm kind of getting worried here. I'll find it. All right, 1 sleeve at a time. But I was quite good once upon a time. You've got to be kidding. They are still in here. I didn't do anything with them. But I was like, I'm not that terrible. So I'm going to single sleeve these and then give them other sleeves from a different set. You go in this way, and then when you put it in the other one, you slide it in the other direction. That way it's perfectly protected. Because if I do it the wrong way, I will hear about it in this household. But one of the things, with doing that, with wanting to start my own school, my own class, really, is time. My role in my day job, my actual job, does require travel, and there's nothing wrong with that. I accepted the job, but I also accepted the job like a long time ago, like a decade ago. And my life has changed. And with the change in my life, I am now in a position where I'd like to, well, be home a little bit more. In order to do something like have my own Taekwondo class, I can't be on the road 60, 70% of the time. Not that it hasn't been great. I've gone some really cool places. That has been actually one of the best parts of my role is I've gotten to go everywhere. Name a place, I've been there, man. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. Travel like I have my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to I don't even know what he's saying in most of that song. It's a great song though, classic. But I'm just so stinking happy because I'm telling y'all this in real time. A role I had interviewed for at my company because I don't want to leave my company. I like my company. My company's great to me. I'm great to them. But when you're thinking about your career progression and what you want, like I have wanted to move up and have my own team, but I also have to recognize, I'm speaking from a place of I, that am I in a place where I need to manage my own team? And honestly, not yet. I will one day, but today's not that day. And the reason I know today's not that day is last year, if you built my channel, it was a hard year for me. A lot happened. Um, and some things just take time to recover your life from. And that's where I'm at right now. So I want to stay in the field I'm in, which is adult education. I like my company. I don't want to leave my company. But I also want to grow. I actively want to learn new things, do new things in my company. And I've been interviewing for a while, actually. A long while. Not a little while, a long while. My dog sneaked back in here. He wanted out, so I did. I've been watching him so he doesn't lick his hot spot. But it's pretty much healed now, but he's trying to get out of my eyeball sight, so I can't yell at him if he goes for it. But I've been interviewing for a while, for like a year, looking for that next role. And I work in a company where everybody's excellent, so the competition's stuff. And I'll be honest, I was starting to get a little concerned. I was like, oh God, nobody wants me. And a role I had interviewed for that I really wanted. Earlier this morning, I had a meeting with my new leader that I got the job. And I am so happy. Because this job's only up to 25% travel, which is perfectly fine with me. I don't mind some travel. But when I tell you there was a time that out of a 12-week span, I could be gone for 10 of those weeks easily. And when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, that was fun. But now I've got a family. And, I got things I need to be about in my life. And I'm a newlywed. I kind of want to be home with my husband. And I want to learn about a different part of my business. I'm very good at what I do, but people like me who are type A driven personalities, we always are looking for ways to grow, ways to learn. And if I feel like I'm not growing and contributing and learning at my best, then I'm going to start looking, or I'm going to start making problems in a funny way. But I accepted that new role, and I'm excited because it's a different part of our business. It is a new challenge, new set of peers, new people that I would be supporting. I've got all these ideas now about how I want to do it, but it opens up the opportunity of a consistent life being home that I'd be able to have my own Taekwondo class now. I didn't start it yet because I can't commit if I'm going to be on the road all the stinking time. It just wasn't possible. And work-life harmony matters. Money matters, but work-life harmony matters too. It is truly a fortunate blessing if you're able to balance your work life and your home life. Now, was I going to walk out of my current role because I couldn't have the schedule I wanted? No, that's immature. Of course not. I got a mortgage. Okay, we got bills in this household. I don't know about y'all, but I am more than elated to be starting on a new work adventure, and a work adventure that's going to enable me to do other things, because that's what our job should do. Our chosen paths should enable us to do the things we actually want to do. Our jobs are a means to an end. Now, for some people, the job is the goal. But for a lot of us, work is a means to an end. It's how we are able to send the kids to college, to pay for the house, to go on vacation, to buy the groceries. Money has to come from somewhere. And, usually it's owning a business or, working for someone else. I'm one of those work for someone else people. I do not mind being a cog in the machine. I'm a great cog. But the other awesome thing that happened today is I have a place now to do my Taekwondo class. I met a young lady, I say young lady, she's probably the same age as me, at the Y, who I practice in part of my Taekwondo uniform, not the whole thing when I'm at the Y by myself, because the whole thing is a little bit distracting to people. But I do wear, if I'm doing forms specifically, I wear the pants and then my under top. And it's very distinct. I wear like my Taekwondo shoes to walk around because you can't go into the room that I practice in without, proper shoes on. I have to wear closed-toed shoes. And when I came into the locker room to like open my locker and change, she was sitting there and she looked at what I was wearing and she said, "Do you teach cheerleading?" And I never thought about me looking like a cheerleading teacher. I did try out for cheerleading when I was younger. Didn't make it. It wasn't for me. Not flexible. My parents didn't put me in anything until I was in like 7th or 8th grade is when I played basketball. I did nothing until then, except read. I wish they put me in Taekwondo when I was a kid. It would have been great. I'd be way more flexible. I mean, I'm flexible, but I can be more flexible. But she started asking me. I said, "No, I'm a martial arts instructor." She's like, "Was there a class?" I was like, "No, no, no, no. I still teach at my school back in Nashville, and to stay ready to teach, I have to go practice on my own." And she was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, I come in here, several times a week, and I take over a particular space and I practice kicks and forms and I stretch and sometimes I cross train and do like just straight cardio. Cross training is important. Your body gets used to certain exercise, so to keep that calorie burn up and to keep advancing, sometimes you gotta do a different exercise. It's just how it is. And she was fascinated, and we started talking, and it turned out she had started. She's a startup doing women's community health services. And she's been looking for people to teach different fitness classes. And we got to talking, and I told her about the Taekwondo mission, and that if we open a mission school, that we don't charge. It's a community school. She was like, "Well, that's great because there's no money yet." And I was like, I was like, "Money's not an issue." I was like, "I do this because I love it. I teach because I love it." And it's the only exercise I actually enjoy. There's no other exercise I like besides taekwondo. No other exercise I'll do? Yes, I do yoga, and I do cardio. I will hit. Oh, I take that back. I do like combat fighting in the SCA. I guess that's martial arts though. Still, so yeah, martial arts is the exercise I like, and we'll do all of it, all the time, everywhere, all at once, and she asked if I would come by her. We traded information immediately. And she asked if I would come by and take a look at the space and see if it would be adequate. She wouldn't charge me. I'm not going to charge her, but we'd have a community taekwondo class for women and kids. When I tell you that today, while it's out here raining, it poured in my world, it poured. So by the time this video comes out, I will have hoped to have been at 5,000 subscribers, which I'm going to do my first giveaway. I attempted to do a giveaway ages ago. Didn't know how to do it. That failed miserably. But now I know how, and I get enough comments and interaction on videos now that I can actually do it and it matter. But I can't wait to do my first giveaway. But hopefully that will mark the ability for me to officially turn on monetization on this channel. I've been eligible for a while, but again, it's not my career. YouTube's never going to be my career. It's something I do because I like it. But if it can fund Taekwondo, and when I say fund at this point, it would be doing things like buying uniforms, belts, promotion test certificates, all that kind of stuff. Because I'd be my own instructor. My instructor is 84 this year. I don't even like thinking about it. That, to be fair though, his 84. I thought I heard my dog. Did he come in? No. His 84 is everybody else's 55. I'm not even kidding. Don't let them years fool you. He'll kill us all. No, he's a very nice man. But he's not a young man anymore, and he has tested me to my 6th degree black belt, which makes me in traditional Taekwondo and Muay Thai Taekwondo, I'm a master. I don't even like saying that out loud. It feels so weird. because there are days I feel like I just started. Like, I was doing my black belt forms today, and I swear, like, my brain just went on vacation for 15 minutes. Some days I'm on and popping, some days, meh. Today was a bleh day. But he's been trying to get me ready to carry on my portion of Taekwondo legacy, and I appreciate that. He actually might go to Korea later this year, and it would be an open trip to any of our folks at the school who'd want to go. It'll be the only chance I get to go to Korea with him, and if I can, I will. If he goes, I'm going. Like, period, point blank, I'm going. And I only tested a year ago for my 6th, and it had been 5 or 6 years since my last test, which is what you do. Like, for in between tests, it's a certain number of classes, and on average, it takes X amount of years to get that number of classes under your belt. He wants me this year to go ahead and test up to my 7th, which is unorthodox. It absolutely is. I'm technically not old enough, but he's getting older, and the president of the Muduquan Association will be changing later this year, and this will probably be my last black belt test, but as a 7th, I can do all the things that he does without without difficult oversight, I guess. I don't like thinking about it because my school and my school people have been a part of my life for such a long time, and I love them so much. I cannot imagine my life without my Taekwondo school. But this is something that I choose to do regardless of other things that happen and will inevitably happen. And I want to carry on my piece of human history that I get to carry. It's my torch. I like my torch. So I'm in a position now where I will have a job that is consistently home. Travel once in a while, but nothing like what I have to with my previous role. I've been offered a place where I can actually teach. And the YouTube channel is at a position where it will produce funds that can help me. So I've got my 3D printer. I paint lots of figures. I think I'll do some special things, not just because it's the action figures that are getting given away first. But I think I will start, creating some STLs of my own that I could possibly print and sell, or get the production rights to some things and do some limited runs and sell those, because I believe in earning money honestly. I don't just want people just throwing money at me because I exist. That's not good enough. I need to did I not double sleeve these? I sure didn't. I got in a zone there for a second, and three cards did not get their other sleeve. I believe in exchanging goods and services for money. So I'm not just going to be like, oh, hey, give me money because I exist. No, yeah, goods and service. The AdSense itself for what I need should be enough for the Taekwondo stuff. Having a little bit extra padding, that'd be great, because then, when it comes time for the mission trip and stuff, if we've got a couple of folks who may not be able to afford to go, or if one of our mission partners overseas is having a rough time, I'd have extra cash on hand to help with stuff like that. But that's where I'm going with my channel, and just a little update on me and life. It's funny because I call myself a normal passing nerd with this blue and yellow hair. That's about to change colors next weekend because it's what she does. It's when I'm just out doing my corporate job, and that I love so much, and I love my company, cannot say it enough. When I'm out doing those things, the hair is perfectly wrapped. The makeup is on point. The sharpest of sharp dresses is on. The highest of heels are on my tippies. High heels on my tippies. And she's a fierce businesswoman. And at home, it's leggings and hoodies and Game Theory jacket and Transformers and Sailor Moon and all of the things that are ridiculous in my life. Unless people know me pretty well, they probably don't realize just how big of a dork I am. A lot of people are like, oh, she's smart, so she must be a nerd. They think book nerd. People that encounter me professionally, they're not thinking Metroplex. No, and Optimus Prime nerd. That's not what they're thinking about. They're not thinking Sailor Moon nerd. But it's been great because, in my little circle of influence, I've been able to help encourage people that they can make their dreams come true. One of the things I have always taught is that you need to bring the best version of you for the moment you're in. Did I just accidentally throw a card in my garbage can? It just flew out of my hand and now I don't see it. Where'd it go? Is it in the garbage can? I have a garbage can under my desk, and this card just leapt out of my hands into it. Huh. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Did not fly in the garbage can. Under my wheel. Got it. Ah. I could lower my chair, but I'm not going to. Anywho, got it. But one of the things I teach is, bring the best of you for the moment that you're in. Every aspect of my personality doesn't fit every situation I'm going to be in. I speak several different languages, but I don't have to do that all of the time. I pull out extra language when I need it. Because for some people, hearing a foreign tongue come out of this face can be a little distracting. But when I need it's available to me, especially when I go to Mexico, because I go to Mexico quite a bit. So learning Spanish was really important to me, and I've put a lot of work into learning Spanish. Is my Spanish perfect? No. But it's pretty good. Pretty good. I took French for 8 years in school. So 4 years in high school, 4 years in college, and I just kept up with my studies and practice because I study for fun. She's a weirdo. And of course, I just decided I needed to learn. Did I do it again without putting a sleeve on a card? I sure did. I just decided I needed to learn Japanese because, again, she studies for fun, which Japanese it's a hard language. The Japanese language doesn't conjugate the way the English does. I think most Asian languages are that way. But not just that, but there are versions of the language depending on what social situation you're in. Like when you go to the office, there are like 3 levels of speaking, and the way that you speak and interact with people tells them like where you are in the hierarchy and where you're in the hierarchy next to them. Like it's a whole thing. Um, it's a whole thing, and I will say, that you think with as much time as I've spent with Taekwondo that I would have learned Korean. I can count Korean. um, Korean doesn't roll off my tongue naturally. Anytime I try to read or speak Korean words, and even when I do it in class for teaching, it doesn't work with my accent. And I don't think I sound impressively intelligent. I feel like I'm doing the language a disservice, and that it's kind of a point of shame for me because I'm pretty good at enunciating. That was the whole point of being a theater major, is learning how to speak and have presence, not just your native language, but in general. And Korean pronunciation just escapes me. Um, I can say some words in Mandarin, um, just a few, but I can say them correctly. My when I banter in Spanish when I'm in Mexico, or hanging out at some local places, I've actually been told that my Mexican Spanish accent is pretty dadgum good. It's spot on. Of course, I've also spent a lot of time in Mexico because Mexico Spanish and Spain Spanish are not the same Spanish. I got a whole education on that 1 year. I was told what it was. Yeah, but I enjoy that. But it's my language skills are not for everywhere. My nerdity is not for every situation. My ability to be a teacher is not for every situation. And there's a side of myself that only my husband gets to experience because he's my dude. So when you're a corporate nerd like me, and you're like, how can I be who I am, but still exist in these spaces? Well, one, you have to be excellent. And it's amazing what people will look past or over in place of excellence. I do what I do very well, and I endeavor to always improve. I'm always learning. I'm always improving. I'm always looking for what's next, what's better, what's more efficient. What else can I learn to be better? Always be a student. Always be open to learning. As long as you're learning, you're in it. Keep learning. Just keep learning. Just keep learning. you know, um, Learn how to communicate well. And I don't just mean, well, I'm a good speaker. No, communication is more than just speaking. There is a message being sent, and you have a context, but the person receiving that message also has a context. And messages are being filtered through the noise that's in between us, whether it's electronic or, um, it's bills or whatever noise. And so what we think we said and what we actually said and what the other person heard and they interpreted, all three of those things are different. So being able to communicate well is practicing emotional intelligence. It's being willing to learn, here's how I communicate, here's how other people communicate, here's how I recognize what's going to work in this situation so that me and this other person or persons can have the best experience of one another. That takes concentrated effort and a long time. A long time. And then, learn how to take feedback. Feedback is a gift. I didn't say criticism. Those are not the same thing. Feedback is a report on what happened. Here is what I observed, and here was the result of what you said, and here was the experience I had because of that. Criticism is, are we sure that was the right thing to do? They're not the same conversation. But feedback is a gift. When someone takes the time to give a truly observant eye or ear to what you do and say and are, and has feedback to give and receive feedback in the spirit of generosity. Be open to it, because I'm not perfect. When I was younger, I thought my stuff didn't stink. And life taught me this. Everyone's stuff stinks. But that's okay. That's how we grow and that's how we learn. And I'm excited to be starting this new journey in my career, because in a few years, I think I'll be ready to take on my own direct reports. It's not the right time for me to do that now. I really thought that's what I wanted to do. But with everything that's happened over the past year, being a newlywed, living in a new city, that's enough change in a short amount of time. Another big change, I'll give it a couple of years before I go for another big change. But I'm excited because now I get to pursue the things that I really want to do. And I'm excited about this new role. I'm excited to meet my team, which by the time this comes out, all of that would have happened. But I'm excited to meet my new team, get to know my new leadership, get to know the people I support, and then, set up my teaching schedule for Taekwondo. My teaching schedule will probably start in April, because I'll have some traveling to do in March. But dadgum, it's kind of great. I'll be honest, I was starting to think nobody wanted me because I interviewed a lot. But every the right thing happens at the right time. This is the right move for me. I was really excited about it, and when I was offered the role, I was like, because it's not just the role itself, it's everything that comes with it. The benefit to my life, the benefit to my family, the balance, the harmony between work and life. So I appreciate all of you who have been on this YouTube journey with me so far, but now I get to really kick it into high gear, because I can actually see the plan and purpose for my channel come to fruition. And as I start classes, and I've got targets and everything. I've got everything I need to start class right now. But as I start doing that, I'll keep you posted. Now, I can't post pictures of people who don't want to be online, but backs of heads, updates on what the school is doing. Of course, when I go to Mexico later this summer, there'll be, play by play, because I love that trip. The kids are just, they make my heart warm. They're so wonderful. And some of them I've gotten to see grow up. I remember the first time we went to Monterey, one of the kids who's now 22, whole adult. He was like 12, 11 when we first met him. And now he's like a grown man, and I can't handle it. He's such enough. But yeah, we've watched some of these kids grow up, and there's a family there that 1 year sent their daughter with us on the trip, and their little girl and I just became the best of little friends. And now she's all grown, and she's gone to Korea and competed in Taekwondo. And when you get to form those kinds of relationships, there's no price you can put on that. So that's what I do at Taekwondo. I'm a Taekwondo nerd. Does my martial arts have a place in my work life? It sure does. Make me mad enough. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Nah, it's martial arts has taught me self-control. Because when I was younger, I had quite the temper. But it's taught me self-control. It's taught me to observe what the people around me need. It's taught me to be patient if someone might not be where I am in the learning or the experience. And that it's okay for people to be at different places in the journey. Because we're all at a different place, and we're not comparing journeys. We're just experiencing our journeys. So, yeah, just an update video. There wasn't a project or anything this time. I just wanted to let y'all know where things are headed. Because if I'm going to use this money for charitable purposes, I feel like accountability is required. I mean, not that I have to be accountable if it's, YouTube AdSense and goods that I'm selling, but I choose to be accountable. So, all right. I'm almost out of clear sleeves, so I'm going to go abscond with some from my son's room, because he always has a bunch of clear sleeves. I've only got like 15 cards left to sleeve. I think I might play this deck this weekend with the fam, and it's celebration magic. So, well, you have a great rest of the day. I think it's supposed to storm here for like at least another 30 hours. Yay! In the meantime, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.